gabi, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Ito na naman po ang programang Kapatiran para sa Bayan. This is live telecast at tayo po ay mapapanood via test broadcast sa Digital Free TV na Aliw 23, sa Sky Cable Channel 72, TV Plus Channel 27 at GMA Affordabox Channel 32. Available din po kami sa digital TV devices at TV receivers. Mangyari po lamang na i-scan ang inyong channel boxes upang panood ang Aliw 23. So, maganda po yung topic natin ngayon. Ako po si Gerardo Sadsad, isang manananggol at kasama ko sina Kuya.
Ako naman po ang inyong lingkod, Ricky Kupo. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
At si...
Magandang gabi mga kababayan. Ako po si Attorney Teddy Calao. First time as a host here.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
But
yan po, lagi na natin mga kasama.
Regular guest natin si...
every third Monday.
Yes,
makasama natin yan.
Okay. Welcome. Very worshipful. Okay. So, introduce na natin without any...
Sige. Kasi maganda topic natin ngayon, Kuya Jerry.
Will do the honor.
Bago dyan siguro, Kuya, batiin na lang natin in general ang ating mga kuya ng happy birthday sa araw na ito. Tsaka yung mga nagbe-birthday na tagapakinig, happy birthday rin po. Belated si ating chairman, Edgar Cabangon.
Edgar Cabangon.
Belated.
Happy birthday po.
Okay, siguro we can go na to our topic kasi napakaganda ngayon.
Mabilis
At
tayo.
yung desk natin ngayon, Kuya Ricky, is very distinguished.
Yes.
Alam mo, we rarely get people na who live in dual worlds. Tawag dyan, di ba?
Hindi lang tayo with a short notice.
Hindi lang abogado, kundi sundalo pa. And here's the thing, sundalo siya, well, first of all, I have to, ka-alma mater ko po sa Ateneo Law at saka UP din. And I understand, Xavier po ka rin kayo, di ba? Xavier School.
Yes.
Ito yung maganda sa buhay niya. Since 1999, he's been active in the reserves.
Wow.
He was initially appointed as captain, and over these last 2 decades, he has risen to be the youngest reservist to attain the rank of Brigadier General.
Wow, very good.
And ito pa, I mean, ang dami kong masasabi na distinguished dito. I mean, if you can look at his ribbons and medals na nandito, you can see na, he has the Outstanding Achievement Award, Distinguished Service Star, among others. Mahaba-haba na ho. But I think the reason why it's very, na nandito siya with us today is because he initiated, he was the prime mover in bringing in this new command, this new reserve command, which we call the AFP Judge Advocate General Reserve.
Yes.
Which started out, he's the first commanding officer. It's so we're so privileged po na you have it, na you're with us today. Let's all welcome po Kuya Jerry, Brigadier General Peter Sucianco.
Attorney Jerry.
Yes, baka may kulang po kami, General, nasa...
Baka may hindi ka na.
Public servant lang po. Of course, Ricky, Attorney Ted, for the introduction. Of course, binabati ko po lahat ng tagapakinig ng station ninyo. DWIZ, of course, as you mentioned earlier, I'd also like to greet the chairman, a belated happy birthday. No, so thank you for this invitation. While it's your first time to host, it's my first time to be here.
Brigadier General Peter, I forgot to mention, baka gusto mong batiin your real boss, si Dimples. I understand you're a family man.
Siya naman yung Major General. Ang ating Major General Dimple Sucianco. Sa bahay, alam mo, ang biruan sa Armed Forces pagka ang commander natin ay one rank higher.
Exactly.
Always
one rank higher.
po.
Mga anak na daughter, 2 ranks higher.
2 ranks higher.
Ako rin nga ho, nakikinig yung aking real boss, si Attorney Calao rin, Attorney Bunny Calao po. But maybe kasi we should go forward to, because we only have isang oras lang po, we should go forward to the topic today because really interesting, we really wanted to get you kasi you've had 2 decades po as you literally rose up from the ranks po in the reserve. And gusto namin talakayin kung, as a form of service, citizen service po. How was it? How does it feel like to both juggle be your private sector life and being an AFP reserve officer? Kayang-kaya ba ho?
Alam mo, time management is important. Of course, like what you do, no? What a lot of people in the public service does, ano to passion, di ba? Of course, this is voluntary. It's something that I really wanted to be into. I actually wanted to be a soldier and a lawyer at the same time, no? So, after I became a lawyer, hindi natanggal sa isipan at puso ko yung pagiging sundalo, no? Yes. But public service takes in a lot of form, no? Marami naman dyan organizations that are also doing service, pero kanya-kanyang hilig, di ba? Kanya-kanyang passion. So we just make the most out of our passion and offer it to the country, no? So that's where with the passion, I guess you will find time, 'di ba? Sabi nila, kung gusto mo may magagawa mo ng paraan yan.
Yeah.
No? Kung ayaw mo, wala.
Wala talaga.
Oo.
Sa kaalaman general ng public, yung ano po ba yung in a simple term, yung Judge Advocate
General
General
Service.
Service Reserve?
Ang Judge Advocate General Service ay isang branch of service ng ating armed forces. Kami po ay puro mga abogado. No? Dapat sumali kayo. I will take this opportunity to recruit you. Actually, si Attorney Ted, ni-recruit ko
It's
na.
a privilege po, General. Opo.
Kasi yan yung branch of service ng ating armed forces, composed of lawyers, no? Then of course there's the Army, Air Force, Navy, there's the medical corps, dental. So actually lahat ng ating Filipino, as long as pag tinatanong sa akin ano bang requirement to be a reservist, well, if you're a Filipino and you love your country and you want to serve, you are free to join the reserve force, no? So in my case, since I'm a lawyer, siguro I'd like to contribute whatever I worked hard for in education to become, of service and be of relevance to the armed forces through our profession.
Yes, sir.
And, go ahead, Kuya Jerry.
So, General, in a nutshell, ano yung as a reservist ay natutulong sa ating pamayanan, sa komunidad po?
Okay. I think ano ba yung title natin? Reservist as a form of citizen leadership. No? It actually something that I advocate. No, leadership is something that a lot of people want to serve. A lot of people probably want to be a leader. They say sometimes you're born a leader, di ba? Pero kailangan mo pa rin turuan yan. No. I actually spoke sa mga high school students one time and I told them, pag nakakita kayo ng, for example, an accident, no? And if you know how to rescue, if you don't know how to rescue, you probably move on and let the experts do it. Diba? But if you are trained to rescue or to save a life, diba? If you're put in that situation, your heart will tell you, I got to save this person because I'm trained to do it. Diba?
Yeah.
So that will also definitely create yung love for others, diba? When you learn how to save, when you learn how to save a life or rescue people, then it will teach you how to love your brothers or sisters or your other people. Then it will teach you how to love your family, your community. Then yung desire mo to serve, no, becomes bigger because you feel more useful, you feel more relevant to society. No, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of us join the reservice. We want to be relevant, no? Hindi naman yung mag-uniforme lang and will not show himself, di ba? Sa akin kasi being in the reservice, you only, kasi sabi nila, ang reservice, volunteer yan eh.
Yes.
Di ba? Volunteer yan, no? So I believe that a reservist should only volunteer once, but committed for life. Hindi mo pwedeng volunteer ako ngayon, bukas hindi ako mag-volunteer. Diba? So when you're committed for life, then it's something that you carry on not only when you're wearing the uniform, but even if you're not wearing the uniform. Your attitude, your discipline, diba?
Brigadier General Peter, I notice you highlight how much nako-contribute yung pag-volunteer nyo sa reserves in your professional, not just your personal life. Kasi as we know, may perception kasi na yung reserve, sometimes gobyerno lang, but actually there's a lot of room for professionals in the reserve, not just lawyers, but dentists, professors, teachers, and there's can you baka siguro you can give us a picture of what life is like, for example in our field, na if you're a lawyer, how can you actually also contribute to nation building or our communities as a reservist, and how it actually helps your profession, your own profession.
Marami tayong kaibigan. Marami na tayong kaibigan. No, but no one has the monopoly of knowledge. Diba? May kanya-kanyang talent yan. Hindi lang naman yan bagay na aral natin sa school or so all of us have our own skills or talent. The armed forces is never lacking. No, talagang the more volunteers there are, the more we can do, the more we can work together, diba? Like you mentioned earlier, no? I mean, I don't want to claim it na ako lang ang nag-isip nito. Of course, when I thought about pushing for the creation of the Judge Advocate General Service Reserve, nakita ko lang naman na ever since I joined the Armed Forces as a reserve officer, as a captain, parang nakita ko na, kasi my wife runs a law firm, no? So I've actually seen how she runs it. Sabi ko, maganda siguro kung gawin natin ng maraming law firm tong armed forces in the different areas. Kasi reserve units are actually recruited geographically. No, so sabi ko, I know that the armed forces is lacking in the legal assistance or legal service. So if we create law firms, law firm like organizations in the different areas, then I'm sure we will be able to help not only in litigation, but even in writing letters, in making an opinion, di ba? Marami yan, maraming actually problema as far as probably real estate is concerned or procurement or whatever, no? And sometimes we're able to help not only because of our practice, but also because of the network that we have, no? Siyempre, sa civilian practice natin, marami tayong nakikilalang ibang government official maybe or the people in judiciary, di ba, who can guide us so that people in the armed forces will do the right thing and will do things properly, di ba? Kasi hindi naman expert lahat, no? So what we do is pag may mga, let's say for example a judge, no, wants to become a reservist, of course hindi natin sasabihin don't give an opinion if you feel there's a conflict of interest, no? So the judge will ask, what can I do? Well, you can give us a lecture, no? You can teach us, no? Based on your expertise and your profession, you can teach us how to probably do certain things so that we don't end up having cases filed against us, no?
Yeah.
So marami namang bagay na
proactive law
pwede,
po, human rights training, gano'n po.
For example, yung mga ating mga kaibigan sa Register of Deeds, lawyers who are Register of Deeds, and they're probably, they want to be part of the reserve force, no? So they can guide us as to yung mga properties na may not yet titled, we can help you, or di ba?
Yes.
Mga ganun, mga bagay-bagay na ganun. Depende
So,
yan sa profession at sa network.
Let's say Brigadier General Peter, yung you're brand new, like somebody who joined early on, you're brand new lawyer or you're a judge in Cebu or how can we go and how can you reach out to the reserve and apply? Kasi a lot of us know na matagal-tagal nga, di ba? What's the process?
Well, we've always believed na Kasi dumaan rin tayo dyan, no?
Yes.
Sa proseso niyan. And you're right,
Yes.
it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
No?
Medyo madugo.
Well, because we must understand that the process takes long because at the end of the day, it's the president who signs your document, your paper. And of course, you don't want to let the president sign something that is not well researched or studied or well applied, diba? So, of course, clearances will be there, but we also believe that we should not make it hard for volunteers to volunteer. No, mahirap yung volunteer ka na, pinahirapan ka pa, di ba? So we do actually nagsi-step up naman actually yung ating armed forces, lalo na yung ating mga reserve commands, no, na to process things faster, to once everything is complete, of course, you also have to have the effort of putting things together, your clearances and all your papers in order before they can process anything. So once everything is complete, I believe naman that they will process things accordingly and with speed, no? So expeditiously. So ang sa akin, if you are interested to join, then there's always the Army, Air Force, Navy. And if you're in the profession of, if you're professional, doctors also want to be part of the armed forces. They can join as a medical corps, dentist. Marami tayong mga kaibigan, no, actually, who are actually very active, no, in the reserve force, lalo na sa technical services, because that's where I belong, no. Ang meron tayong Air Force, Army, Navy, and then there are the technical services where the professionals like us belong.
And yung mga professionals, they would go directly to AFP Reserve Command or geographical unit po? Ano yung process in general po for them?
Ang AFP Reserve Command naman, meron silang mga AFP Reserve Centers, no, in the different regions, no. So kung nasan yung mga area commands, no. So the professional who wants to be part of the reserve force can approach them, no, and file their application with them. Sa atin, sa JAGS, while the recruitment is may Zoom na kasi ngayon diba? So what we do is if you're interested, because we are already a unit, they actually send their email address, cell phone to us, then we invite them for orientation, no? Kasi maganda sa atin we orient them and tell them what is expected of them, no? Yung nga sinabi kong volunteer once, committed for life, we really want that kasi pagka hindi ka committed for life, ang hirap magplano na hindi mo alam kung kailan ka mag-volunteer o hindi. So pag nag-volunteer ka, dapat nasa listahan ka, you should be reliable.
Sir Peter, I have a question. If, let's say, somebody wants to serve, but he's an undergrad, pwede rin ba yun?
Meron naman mga ROTC, mga training. Basta importante magkaroon ng basic military orientation course. Of course, pag undergrad, they probably join as an enlisted personnel. No? Depende rin yan kasi sa educational attainment.
So General, siguro na-educate na natin ang community about how to join. Yung concern na perception ng tao na if you already serve, you can be very useful only in times of war. Parang ganun pag-reserve Pero
parang misperception yun. Baka we can ask General Peter to explain.
Pero I believe you can also be useful even in times of peace. Ano po yan yung mga usefulness ng mga reservists in times of peace? So bago nyo sagutin yun, bibitinin muna natin ang tagapakinig. So time check muna po tayo, 7:25 ng gabi po. Muli pong nagbabalik ang kapatiran para sa bayan. Meron tayong pending question kay Brigadier General Peter Sosiangco. So ulitin ko lang po yung question. Ano po ang usefulness ng isang reservist, lalo na po sa inyo, from captain to general during peacetime?
Thank you for that question, Jerry.
Yes, po.
Jerry.
Jerry po.
Yeah, Jerry.
When I joined the Reserve Force, I was part of the AFP Reserve Command, no? Kung nasaan yung mga technical services. So halo-halo kami doon. No? Ang mandate nun kasi was to address the new normal, which was the calamities that affect our country, no? So of course, dahil nga may mga doktor tayo, and during calamities, definitely kailangan sila, mga nurses, doctors, lawyers, not during calamities, pero since that's the mandate, we also train for it, no? At that time, our focus was on HADR, or humanitarian assistance, or disaster response. No? So we trained our personnel to save lives, to rescue people and save lives. So these are all happening during peacetime. No? Tapos isa pang pwede natin gagawin, of course, as lawyers, no? Right now, we don't need may legal battles tayo, no? Hindi naman to during wartime, but there are legal battles, not only as far as wala na masyadong kasi, no? Mga kalaban, no, within, no, but of course there are the legal battles I'm talking about are, of course, like for example, some of our properties are nawawala yung mga ibang properties natin, nasa squat na sila, no? So those are the little things that we can contribute na to see how we can properly and legally address those situations, no? So it's peacetime, no? So and also we train, no? We train people, of course. When I tell the lawyers that join us, what differentiates you from a military lawyer? You know, it should not just be the uniform, but what's inside your mind. You know? So may mga bagay-bagay, mga courses, trainings that we have to undertake for us to be trained to be a good military lawyer, so that pagka natanong naman tayo ng mga kapatid natin in the active units for our opinion, we would be able to guide them accordingly, no? So in the same light, yung ating mga, kagaya na sinabi ko, yung mga judges natin na nagbibigay ng training, they don't train or teach us military law, but they teach us whatever is more mga practical legal subjects that will also enhance the different lawyers in the JAGS Reserve to be able to give good opinion and to guide yung ating members in the ating units.
May question dito na nagtatanong, isang pangkaraniwang sundalo siya. Sabi na, General, as a reservist po kayo, pwede po ba kaming lumapit sa mga problema namin na legal, anuman dun sa trabaho, connected sa trabaho o personal?
Okay. When we joined, no, actually marami na rin lumalapit sa amin ng mga kasundaluhan natin, no, na nagkakaroon ng problema. Tama ka, sometimes it's their personal, sometimes it's service related, no. Our task for actually is really to help those soldiers who have encountered problems that are service related, no, kasi if you help them, then you're actually helping the unit, no, you're actually strengthening the legal defense or the legal arm of the unit, no. Pero of course may mga lumalapit rin on their personal, so alam mo naman, mas Attorney Jerry, Attorney Ted, it's our job,
Yeah.
no. It's our legal, we took an oath, no, to give guidance and render opinion, help those who need our legal expertise. So tumutulong rin naman tayo, no. But to be candid about it also, there is actually a MOA, no, Memorandum of Agreement between the IBP National and the Armed Forces, which was executed a few years ago. May mutual cooperation, may mutual may training, may legal service. So the IBP actually is very has already stepped in. We just have to operationalize that. No, has already stepped in to give assistance to cases like that. No? So I guess as far as that MOA is concerned, I actually want to push it also. No, nandiyan na. kailangan lang i-operationalize, no? And maybe the JAGS Reserve being a member of both, no? Kasi yung parties between IBP and the military and the armed forces. So, ang JAGS Reserve is a member of both, no? The IBP chapter of where they belong and the armed forces. So, baka we can bridge that, no, and operationalize it para yung mga kasundaluhan natin na may mga personal problems can actually be tapped. We can actually tap the IBP chapters in the different areas to help them as well.
Ayun.
No?
And on that note, General Peter, we understand now that JAG Reserve is a separate reserve command, we will be building up, I think, long-term, geographically, not just Metro Manila but across all commands, di ba po?
Just to clarify, Attorney Ted, no, the JAGS Reserve is a technical service under the Armed Forces of the AFP Reserve Command, no? So tayo ay nagre-report pa rin kaya sa AFP Reserve Command, although medyo nag-focus lang tayo, hiniwalay lang natin na yung mga lawyers, no, to have focus on the tasking, focus on the mission, no. We created the JAGS Reserve so that lawyers, because they're recruited as lawyers.
Yes.
So might as well put them in an organization of lawyers. No, we work closely active with the active JAGS. No, when we work closely with active JAGS, syempre minsan may kailangan ng armed forces na active JAGS, but the active JAGS cannot provide. We're there to augment or force multiplier nga tayo, no, in the reserve force. And in your question about in the recruiting lawyers in the geographical level, of course, marami na actually yung mga lawyers natin in the different regions, in the different area where the area commands are, nagiging active na rin sila. No, kasi nalalagyan mo na sila ng mission, they are part of our training. Actually, pag nagde-training kami, kasama rin sila kasi pwede na nga Zoom. No, nag-Zoom training kami. So last Saturday we had one, no, na all the JAGs in the different regions are actually participating through Zoom. In fact, one of our lecturers is from the Viscom, no, or from Cebu, no, so Visayas Command. Siya yung isang nag-lecture sa amin. So kanya-kanyang contribution, masaya actually. Nagkakaroon kasi nagiging it's a small community, yung ating brothers and sisters in the profession. I mean, di ba? Magkakakilala. Minsan, baka nasamahan mo sa isang kaso or sa isang issue. So, nagkakagulatan rin actually pag nagkikita-kita sa sa headquarters na, di ba? You're also part of this, di ba?
General Peter, baka you can give us an idea. Let's say you commit to, being in the JAGS. On an annual basis po, I mean, what is expected of you if you want to be active reserve po?
Actually, ang ating orders is 60 Saturdays. No?
60 Saturdays.
That is supposed to be your reporting day, annual duty training ang tawag dyan, no? For 60 consecutive Saturdays, no? But there are those who, like us, like hindi naman tayo pwede mag-plan and execute in one day. If there's 60 Saturdays, then actually, ilan bang Saturdays in a year? 45 lang. So, yung 365 days mo, hindi naman, yung 1 year mo, hindi naman 365 yun, 45 days lang yan eh. Di ba? So, kaya medyo pinupush ko rin, no? Dahil meron naman tayong free legal assistance sometimes. May mga pro bono tayo sa mga law firms natin, sa mga profession natin. Pwede naman yun na tulungan na rin ng armed forces, no? So, because we are serving as lawyers, then for me, with the technology now, you can send the email. Attorney, pwede bang paki-review to? You can actually get it sa telepono lang. Pwede ka namang sabing, ito yung palitan mo lang, di ba? You can give an opinion or edit things to your phone. No? So, sa tingin ko, hindi naman tayo limited dyan sa 60 Saturdays, although that's what's in the order. Like, for example, in my case, it's my job to make sure that the members of the JAGS Reserve are busy, are well-trained, are utilized well. So, I cannot do that on a Saturday. I also do that on
weekdays.
Like on a weekday, no? Pero so sa gabi, nagkaplano rin ako. If I'm after work, I have to think about what I plan to do with the JAGS, di ba? To keep us active, to keep us relevant. So, challenging, but like I said, the passion actually drives me to do it.
So,
Diba?
so yung mga interested po, how can they directly connect? We have a Facebook page, di ba po?
We have a Facebook page.
Baka they can message na lang.
Oo, pwede naman. Meron tayong web page, meron tayong Facebook page. No? We get inquiries there on how to join, what are the different ano ba yung mga questions dun? Mga requirements. Actually, the requirements marami yan. No? So, those who want to join can actually get into the Facebook page, give us your contact details, we will get in touch with you, and we will give you more details during the orientation. No, importante kasi alam nyo, pag minsan may mga humihingi ng requirement, when you give them a 2-page, 3-page list, masisyak
Ayaw
yan
na.
Ang dami yan, sir, wag na lang, di ba? Ayoko na, di ba? Pero pagka ginaguide naman natin, bakit kailangan ng clearance? Daming clearance eh. Siyempre, presidente pipirma niyan, dapat cleared ka. No? So, may mga ganon. No? So, we sort of explain to them why certain documents are required.
Actually,
why? Diba?
General Peter, I found the orientation useful myself. I note, yung sa Metro Manila or here, malapit lang. I mean, Camp Aguinaldo yung orientation, di ba? Paano naman yung mga, like if you're in Cebu, or do you have to come to Metro Manila, or can we do it via Zoom for them?
Yung ating mga JAGs in the region,
Kaya rin nila po.
Kaya na nila, kaya na nila. We've already cascaded the orientation program to them.
So, marirefer doon po?
Pwede naman. Pwede sila doon mag-apply kasi sila magkakilala eh. In fact, sila yung nagre-recruit eh. Di ba? Hindi man ako magre-recruit. Actually, pag may kakilala ako, i-refer ko. But, you're recruiting from your own region, from your own province. So, sa akin, better that they recruit. Of course, you're also talking about language. Di ba? Baka pag nag-orient sila, better to speak in Bisaya or whatever dialect, 'di ba? Mas at home, 'di ba? So there's an orientation program, we send it to them, and sila na bahala, no? For as long as the general idea is there are certain things that we want to communicate, basically the mission, the vision, of course, what is expected of them, no? Yung mga what is expected of us, what they can get from us, hindi namin masyadong yun eh, kasi hindi ko masyadong although some people will ask,
Of course.
no, some people ask, what do we get out of it, di ba? Pero because we are one of them, di ba, we share our experience and the reason why we're here. And when you share your experience, you also want them to experience the same thing. Di ba? So, I guess that's what drives them.
Baka pwede nyo sabihin, General, yung webpage nyo para at least mga interesado po.
Yung Facebook natin, JAGS Reserve. No? So, you can just search for that. JAGS Reserve. We try to upload all our activities, our weekly activities. Basically, we want people to know that there is such a unit and they can be active and who are there and
pwede sila mag-message doon po.
Pwede.
So that they can
pwede
reach out.
sila mag-message.
So they can schedule
Some
orientation.
Messenger, di ba?
Messenger.
Okay. How about a number po, hotline or anything po, General?
Actually, yes. We just actually changed our phone.
Ilalagay nyo sa
Nasa Facebook naman yun. Nasa Facebook naman yun.
So in the meantime, you will be confined to JAGS Reserve.
JAGS Reserve sa
Type
Facebook
lang,
muna.
JAGS
Oo.
Reserve.
Actually, yung sa web, JAGS Reserve also as a web page, meron rin kami. So may mga nagme-message.
Google lang po nila.
Oo.
Lalabas po.
Mas i-search lang nila, yan yung unang lalabas.
Ilan na po, General, yung in your estimation, ilan na po ang member ng JAGS Reserve?
Hundreds yan in the list.
Oh,
Diba?
okay.
Hundreds yan. If you look at the list, marami yan. 300 plus maybe. But then, the active ones are slowly, those who were commissioned before, may mga bumabalik. Kasi, mayroon na palang JAGS reserve, di ba? I'm no longer doing a medical mission, but I can already, di ba? Kasi,
Use my skills.
sometimes, sometimes hindi nila feel. No? Pero, mind you, there are some lawyers also who don't want to do lawyering.
In the
During,
service. Opo.
I said 5 days a week, I'm doing this, tapos weekend.
Iba naman.
May iba naman. Okay lang yun.
Yes.
Okay lang yun. No, sa akin, we have an officer, he's a JAGS, he's gusto niya sumama sa Navy, for example, no, or sa Army.
Yeah.
No, sa akin okay lang yan kasi as long as you serve.
Yes, yes.
Doesn't
Just
matter where.
curious, General.
Oh.
Pero ano ho yung pinaka challenging assignment nyo in these past 2 decades you've been in the service po? Was it, I understand, nakaabot kayo ng Marawi or?
Oo, kasi actually, you mentioned earlier how can we help, diba?
Yes.
So, may mga projects tayo na ginagawa focus on peace and development. Actually, advocacy ko, diba? And it's not only my advocacy. Actually, I've been working with the Special Forces, no? Then, alam mo, they try to, we win the hearts and minds of people, di ba? So
Okay.
that maging peaceful na tayo.
Napaka-interesting yung topic natin. So, time check muna po tayo, General. 7:45 po ng gabi. Babalik po ang kapatiran para sa bayan at ang topic po natin ngayon is more on sa military matters, particularly JAGS Reserve. Kasama po ulit natin si Brigadier General Peter Sosiangco. Okay, so General, ano po ba yung mga present projects, programs, and activities nyo ngayon?
Well, right now, we're busy with the, of course, orientation program. Because of the need to serve the armed forces, no? Hindi man kaya ng isang tao yan, mapapagod yung isang tao. Lalo na kung volunteer, di ba? I actually used to do that. I volunteer here, volunteer there, volunteer everywhere, and I get tired, di ba? So the solution there is to recruit more, no? And create more of you, di ba? Savior at na yun, man for others so we create more men for others, diba? Hindi lang tayo kasi burnout, diba? So when we have more of us serving, then you can actually delegate the work. You can actually spread the experience, spread the work, diba?
You know,
importante, make it interesting for them, make them relevant.
And on that note, General Peter, ano pa nga, like my previous question, what was your most challenging experience in your role as JAG?
Tingin ko challenging siya kasi you want to be relevant, So, to be relevant to the armed forces, you work closely with the active units. You cannot a reserve force, you don't exist on your own.
Exactly.
Diba? When we train, it's best, of course, that we train with the active. And when we serve, it's best that we serve with the active, 'di ba? Kasi doon mo makikita yung doon mo mafi-feel.
Yeah.
No? Then we're actually doing that. So I
And you've had
really
field
encourage
assignments
that.
po.
So like I mentioned earlier, like naging malapit ako sa Special Forces, no? And at the time, they had projects in Basilan, no? Mga peace and development, doon tayo pumapasok. Mga educational, no? Doon tayo pumapasok. Of course, challenging siya kasi of course at that time I keep emphasizing na at that time kasi ngayon parang hindi na ganoon parang peaceful na ngayon no? Konti-konti na lang, di ba? Sabi nga nila mas marami pa namamatay sa aksidente dito sa Metro Manila kaysa sa Mindanao, di ba? Pero ang sa akin pagka may mga projects yung active units natin, tumutulong tayo, no? Hindi naman tayo mahawak ng baril para gano'n, We come in, we build schools, we build classrooms, we provide them playgrounds. Yan yung mga different projects that we used to do, no? We've built several schools in Basilan, a school in Sulu, in Omar, Sulu. Nakikita natin na nakakapag-contribute tayo, yung mga bata dapat ma-educate sila, 'di ba? We've also contributed solar power projects in Sulu.
Wow.
No, kasi hindi pa walang kuryente doon eh.
Yes.
No, so solar powered educational system. So yung mga ganon, I think that's challenging and relevant. Siyempre yung risk na
Correct.
unang iniisip mo pag pumunta ako dyan, baka risky but when you're doing it, hindi na no? You're working with the active unit, so it's relatively safe, no, to be doing it with them. And it's challenging because you have to complete it, di ba? Hindi pwede yung pahapyaw lang. Sometimes when I go to Basilan, I've been there so many times, they go, "Sir, baka naman pwedeng iba na, nakapunta na tayo dyan." Bakit tayo, why will we transfer when we're not yet done with our mission here? Di ba? Hindi naman yan hit and run, di ba? Or photo ops, di ba? Or pang Facebook, di ba? When we go to a certain area, we're one with them, we're one with the active units in their mission, so we complete the mission with them. No? So that's very challenging.
And General Peter, so where do you foresee JAG Reserve now going in the next, now that nakafocus na ho tayo to be a force to augment our JAG, where do you see it the next decade go?
Well, I hope to institutionalize this, no? Institutionalize the different how we are organized. Like I said, if we can give the armed forces a law firm per area command and down to the different division, to the brigade, no, bakit naman hindi, di ba? Na anytime na it's not even to do offensive or defensive legal work, but guide them, be there for them, kasi nahaharas rin tayo di ba? In many ways, no? So be there to protect our soldiers, no, from harassment, and to be there, no, kasi alam mo, a friend of mine always says, and he's the former chief of staff, General Sobehana, always say, in case of doubt, ask a lawyer. I want to provide that, no, to the armed forces.
The more the merrier. The more lawyers, the merrier.
Para wala ng doubt. Diba? Tanungin mo na lang kami kung okay ba yan o hindi, or how do we go about it. So, again, we're not hindi natin monopoly of knowledge, but we're there at least kaysa sa wala, no? And pag marami kayo, mas maraming makakapagbigay ng advice, mas maraming makakatulong, no? So yeah, I see this, we hope to institutionalize this, and hope it is relevant, no?
Ito bang trend ho, nakikita natin sa ibang technical service po?
I think so. Nakikita ko naman na yung mga ibang technical services naman also want to work with their active counterparts, no? So actually, I understand that the AFP Reserve Command is looking into that. They're probably already discussing with the different heads of the different technical services, but we're here, no, to help if there's anything that we can do to go with the direction that our leadership wants us to go.
Nako, General, ang dami namin pantanong sana. Pero I hope we can have another session again for the
Mabilis ang oras.
time.
Mabilis ang oras.
Siguro, any last word from you, General? You may promote yung JAGS Reserve and any other thing.
Well, siguro, natutuwa lang ako na dumadami na rin kami, no? Yung mga dating nag-volunteer, nagvo-volunteer na ulit, nakakaakit tayo, nakaka-inspire rin tayo ng mga taong gustong sumali, no? Lalo na ngayon, kakalabas lang ng results ng Barla. Kakalabas lang ng
4,000
results
new lawyers.
Lawyer,
43%. 43%.
You can join the active JAGS. I don't know if there's an opening there. Siguro, i-check na lang kung may opening dun. But, do not be frustrated, no? Kung hindi kayo nakapasok sa active JAGS, nandito ang reserve JAGS para makasilbi pa rin kayo sa armed forces. Masaya to. Marami tayong matutunan. it's a different culture, no? It's a different, at sa totoo lang, sometimes I do this for my family because my family, yung mga, you want to be, sabihin mo sa mga pamilya mo na may contribution ka naman sa bayan.
Binalik
Diba?
ka sa society.
Swerte rin, no? I mean, we would not have been in this position. I just continue to work, di ba? And maybe this is a calling for me, no, na nalagay tayo rito para makatulong tayo at makaakit tayo ng mga tao, maka-inspire tayo ng mga tao na sumali rin at tumulong sa atin. So, I'm not confining this only to the lawyers, no? Anybody, any Filipino, any Filipino who loves his country is, more than it's welcome to be part of the reserve force. No, this may be for you, it can be for you, maybe not for others, but subukan nyo. Di ba?
Yeah.
Give it a
pag-aralan
try.
nyo.
Okay.
Sige.
Baka batiin mo rin si Major General. Baka outside ko lang bumabaya.
Hindi, binabati ko na lang po yung mga ating mga kasama sa JAGS Reserve. Binabati of course ang ating AFP leadership, ang aking boss, si General Ronatay, the commander of the Armed Forces, AFP Reserve Command, ang TJAG na si Colonel Erwin Machika, no, sila yung mga partners natin. Of course, actually, I'd like to also greet the Secretary of National Defense, no? Because actually when he was Chief of Staff, kami yung nag-usap na
Okay.
Yun.
gawin mo to. No, siya yung bigay sa akin ng instruction, kaya it's
Command.
hindi lang naman ako yung nag-isip nito, siya yung nagsabing gawin mo.
Yes.
No? So we're there. It's not something that can happen overnight, but at least we're on our way there.
Okay.
With everybody's support, hindi natin kayang gawin to na mag-isa. We need everybody to support this and be in the same direction.
Thank you, General. Kuya Ted.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank General Peter at lahat ng mga for you also for coming in tonight, but also for all our members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines para sa serbisyo nyo sa ating bayan. On that note, maraming salamat kay Jerry at kay Ricky for welcoming me. You can see
How
me
does it
every
feel?
third
How
Monday.
does it feel?
Ang bilis ng oras. Tapos na. And of course, to my boss who's listening tonight, Han, babalik na ako. Thank you.
Talagang may Commander. Kuya
Ako habulin ko lang, may pabati lang dito.
Okay.
Si Orlando Sarmiento, happy birthday po. At antabayan niyo po ang susunod na programa namin. Next Monday po, mas exciting din. Oo.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Batiin ko rin yun, kasi obligated din ako. Oo,
Hindi na
yung
magdidinan.
si Shane, Emil, at saka si Iya, and yung auntie ko na may sakit ngayon, she's already 84 years old. So magpagiling ka, Auntie Purita. Okay, pasasalamat din po kay Engineer Jun Aguba, kay Constantino, writer Jen Patrolia, Communication Assistant Jessa Barameda. Ang susunod po na programa is Stories by Pangga, Nika with Nika Abaw. Again, maraming salamat po. Magbabalik po sa susunod na Monday ang Kapatiran sa Bayan.